they settled on filming in California, and he wanted it to be a comedy. So this movie is billed as a comedy. Keep that in mind as I tell you everything.
Okay.
So they start acquiring lions, and they start keeping them in their house, just in their house
What?
in Sherman Oaks. Like,
First, okay, many questions. Number one, how big is their house
I don't know.
that they can have multiple lions in their house?
Yeah, probably big. They were both like successful.
Like in their backyard? Like in
No.
the guest room?
Everywhere. The lions ran that house. So they had these
how does that, what?
I know. And they were raising them because they were like, okay, we can pay for trainers, but we also want to raise these so they know us, so we can film with them when the time comes.
Sure, yeah.
And so these kids grew up with like sleeping next to a lion, or like taking them on walks.
Just around the neighborhood? Like, imagine living, you said Sherman Oaks or Thousand Oaks?
Yeah,
Which one did you say?
no, Sherman Oaks.
Sherman Oaks just taking a strut down Ventura, like with a giant lion on a chain?
Or a tiger. Because
Or
they
a
added
tiger?
tigers. They added tigers.
Are tigers and lions supposed to live together?
No, they are. They never live together in the wild.
Sorry,
They don't meet.
This is already within like the first 3 sentences of this. I'm like, I have so many questions. I will let you talk.
No, I like
will
that you're
probably answer all of these.
asking them. So yeah, these lions would live in their house until like the government was like, "What are you doing? You can't have lions in your house." And they were like, "But they're tame." And they're like, "You have 24 hours to get these out of your house."
Lions and tigers, Bob, by the way.
And
They're
tigers.
like, the government weighed in. They're like, if you had bears as well, maybe it would have been okay. But you've only had 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't hit a bear. They got everything else though. So they're like, "You have 24 hours to get these out of here and find
What are
somewhere
you
for them
supposed to
go."
do?
She asked around because a lot of people at the time like were nuts and crazy and had like pet tame. Like there was places to take them, and like Hollywood would have like places
Sure.
where they would use. So they were able to kind of like get them out, and so instead they're like, well, we're not going to stop. This isn't going to stop us. So they bought this huge piece of land in Soledad County, and they're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build that house we saw in Africa. We're going to plant a bunch of trees that are native to Africa, and we're going to turn this into Africa.
It's a great plan.
We're going to fill this place with lions. They had... Are you ready for how many lions they ended up getting?
Oh, no. How
By
many?
By the time this was all over, they had 71 lions, 26 tigers, 1 tigon, which is when you mix them,
They crossbreed, yeah.
2 jaguars,
I thought-
4 leopards, 10 cougars, and 10 black panthers.
How many does that add up to? I can't do math that quickly.
Me neither.
It's like 120 or something, 130.
Well over 150, I think.
Triple digits.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And that was after the 11 years it took to make this movie. So they're like, okay, we have this land, we have a bunch of lions, we have a bunch of tigers, we've hired animal trainers to train these very not trained animals. A lot of them weren't trained. But Noel, the director, was like, we're doing it. I just know it's going to be, we don't show any fear. If you show fear in front of them, you're dead. And his kids are like, okay.
Okay.
And
Thanks,
so
Dad.
he told the whole like crew that. He's like, don't show fear anybody. And so they start to film. And almost immediately someone gets mauled. Shouldn't be laughing.
It's like the most obvious outcome.
Yeah. People who were like investors, like people who were giving money to it were like, no, we're not going to give you any more money.
How do you get insurance on this?
Well,
Who's insuring this production?
He only hired non-union actors and workers because he knew that the union would, get him in trouble for having lions at his house. And so all of his funding they pulled out because they were like, this is insane. You're insane. And he was like, he tried to get Jack Nicholson to play the main guy, and Jack Nicholson was like, no,
that's
not
enough
gonna.
for me, dog.
Even if and he's crazy. Yeah,
that's true. Marlon Brando might have done it.
Yeah, rest in peace. I don't know. He probably would have. Well, here's the thing. A lot of these people were like, yeah, I'll be in it. What were you going to say?
Because it's the 70s, because cocaine, everyone's on cocaine. So they would have just been like, yeah, let's do it.
I guarantee this production was fueled by cocaine. because there's
It's
no other way that
cocaine lion, cocaine tiger.
cocaine lion, cocaine tiger sounds like a fun movie. I'd watch.
That
Actually,
sounds like
no,
a fun movie.
it exists, and it's this movie. So, by the way, none of these animals live together in Africa. This is just a bunch of cats they collected, big cats from all over the world. Anyway, so they start to
Am I
realize
mistaken that are tigers not even native to Africa? I think tigers are native to like
India
and like
China.
Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
I don't think tigers are I might be wrong. I don't but I feel like lions are the ones only.
Mountain lions are native to here. And his son was like, "Hey dad," his son John, who was like helping out on the set a lot. He's like, this doesn't make sense. And his dad's like, "Nothing will stop me from making this movie."
He's like, "What are you talking about? Cat and a cat and a cat. They're all cats. It's fine."
Seriously. And so they had a plot for this movie, which quickly fell apart because you can't tell lions and tigers what to do.
What?
Right? Even when they are trained, they still are unruly when they're with other lions and tigers because they're very territorial. And there's a whole like hierarchy. So they quickly were like, "No, this isn't going to work." But Noel was like, "Put cameras everywhere. We're doing this documentary style, and we're just going to wait for them to do something interesting." And they ended up rewriting the script and the plot around the things the animals would do. So
they did make a documentary, essentially.
With characters and a very loose plot. So
it sounds like reality. It does sound like reality TV.
It does. For example, they realized that the cats loved chasing motorcyclists. And the director was like, "More motorcycle chases right now.
Let them go."
So they would have like stuntmen on motorcycles, and there's this video of these cats just like overtaking this motorcyclist and pulling him down. And
oh my God.
Off of the dude, this movie's really hard to watch because
Did you watch it?
I watched half of it. It's hard to follow. Everyone has actual fear in their eyes, and there's real blood coming out of their faces. Like, just
really?
Yes.
Whoa.
They kept in all the maulings that they caught on camera.
Honestly, I have an idea right now. If we can figure this out, we should figure out a way to do like a live stream watch of this.
We should.
That would be so hilarious to watch this with people who listen to this podcast. It would be insane.
Should we do that?
I kind of want to do that. We got to figure that out because clearly we're really good at doing live streams, as evidenced by our train wreck of a live stream in Seattle. But just putting that out there. But continue. I desperately want to watch this movie now.
We're going to. Don't watch it without me.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not going to watch it without you. No, we can figure out a way to make that work, hopefully.
Okay. Well, so also, they were like, since they had to like rewrite it a bunch of it to be like, we got to do what the lions want to do. The dialogue is oh my gosh, the dialogue is so bad. It's so bad. Like, there's a part where Melanie Griffith's character is straight up asking her mom about her sex life while they're like being accosted by lions.
How old is she at this point?
19.
Okay,
and,
so she's not like a child necessarily, but still.
No, but the scene itself.
Weird, but she's not like 11 or something. I had like the image of like Drew Barrymore and E.T. for some reason in my head. Like Melanie Griffith's like this little baby kid. Yeah, and I was like, what?
But that's like some of the writing. And then one of them was like, someone's let the cat out of the bag. And it's like,
who let the cats out?
Who wrote that? Anyway, it was Noel. Noel, what's his name? Noel Marshall. So yeah, watching these scenes is rough because these cats are genuinely attacking these people and are like, you watch them like at one point, since Noel decided to star in it because no one wanted to be the main character. So he's directing it and starring in it at this point. And at one point, a lion just holds his head in his mouth for 25 minutes and like latched on. And it took like a bunch of people to like pry the lion off. And he immediately went to the hospital. And then like at the same time, another lion mauls Tippi Hedren.
Wait, well, let's back up here.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot.
How he has did he put his head in the lion's mouth, or the lion just started to like bite him?
Started to bite him.
Also, why didn't it maul him? Why did it just hold it in its mouth?
Because they're all semi-trained. Like, you can train.
I see. So it got confused.
Yeah, because they would give these like attack directions that they learn from the trainers. And sometimes the cats would just be like, no, I'm tasting blood right now. Why would I stop?